Estate litigation, trust litigation is challenging. So to point out what the common challenges are, the whole process is incredibly challenging. So if you're on the side of the trustee or the executor of the estate, it could be that you have beneficiaries that wish that they were in charge of the estate. And so they sort of audit the person who's in charge, and every little thing that happens, they criticize and attack, and they, basically want the person in charge to agree that they will have equal control and they will be making decisions jointly. But that's not how trusts and estates work. There is a trustee, there is an executor, and those people are in charge. Pretty common, as with life, that a trustee and an executor will make a small mistake, some little thing. And then when you have beneficiaries who are constantly auditing them, they will leap at the chance to attack them for any small mistake that they make. So that is a very difficult thing from the perspective of the person in charge of the estate. From the perspective of the person who is a beneficiary of the estate, if the person who's in charge is making mistakes, then you have to figure out what steps you're going to take in the realm of how much you want to pay to follow up on those mistakes. So normally what we would do is our first step is to ask whoever's in charge for an accounting. Show us what money you started with, how you spent it, and how much you have left. And so that's usually the first step to evaluating a case, is to figure out what happened, how much money is there, and what happened to that money. In terms of common challenges, aside from that, there are people who hide money. There are people who run away. There are people who refuse to be served with a lawsuit. There are all kinds of challenges to the litigation that can ensue. So the most important thing when you're figuring out about talking to an attorney, figuring out about the case, is, do you have an idea about how much was in the estate or trust when the case started, and how much is there now? If someone has stolen all of the money and they've run away, you might be able to get a court order that says, you pay it back. But guess what? If you can't find them, or they spent all the money, then you're not getting very much for having obtained that order. So we want to make sure that if you win, that there's going to be a way to bring that money back into the estate.